Today's segment of Oh Brother is sponsored by Trivia with Reed. Play Trivia with Reed each Monday night at Innisfree Irish Pub in Birmingham and each Tuesday night at Steel. For more information, visit myspace.com/trivia with Reed. That's Reed with 2 E's.
All my brothers are so southern, they'll get up for you for nothing. Take this.
Yeah, Reach, there are like 8 people and a dog in the Brandon Brown and Country Western Delight Studios.
Yeah, that's right.
Which I like that. The more the merrier, I say.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. No doubt about it.
That's been a trend lately of people saying, hey, can I come just watch? And I said, sure, why not?
Why not?
Yeah, I don't have any reason, They like the posh studio with the TVs.
Yeah, it's a very nice.
Look at that flat screen over there. We got the golf on.
Yeah, that's and Tiger Woods
struggling. Three behind.
Well, listen, it is Saturday. Right now, we're recording this on Sunday, but it is Saturday. When people are listening to this, when this officially airs on our website at obrotherradio.com. And, of course, people are listening to Oh Brother. This is a podcast. It's a daily podcast, only 10 minutes long. We do something different each day. And every Saturday during college football season, we do our college football update, which is where we sort of talk about the world of college football, specifically when it comes to the teams of Auburn and Alabama. We live in the state of Alabama. Those are the two teams.
Yeah, and we are right in the thick of the football season, Rita. Interesting
Just finished up the first third of the season, as a matter of fact.
Interesting things are really starting to happen now. Some big upsets this past week.
Big upsets. How about, what was it, the Oregon Cal? Cal just gets blown out of the water. That's a weird Pac-10.
42-3.
Yeah, that's
42-3. Number 6 team, California was. And then, of course, number 4, Ole Miss, going down to South Carolina.
Yeah, Miami loses to Virginia Tech. There were a lot of upsets. Some people may say, well, that wasn't as big of an upset because they were both highly ranked teams, but people were high on Miami. Anyway,
they beat them
things.
Pretty good. I mean, it wasn't a close game.
Well, let's talk specifically, real quickly, about what happened with Auburn, Alabama, because as you know, you and I picked games earlier this year, and we're having a point system where we're trying to see who has the fewer number of points at the end of the season.
So far, I've been whooping up on you.
Well, now, wait a second. At the end of last week, you were only just barely beating me by like 5 points. You had 74, I had 79. After last Saturday's games, of course, Auburn played Ball State, Alabama played Arkansas. Unfortunately, I didn't fare as well as you did.
Figures.
Yeah, we both picked the winners correctly, but my scores, I was a little more, conservative on my score. Yeah, picking. Anyway, the end result is I now have a total of 117 points. You have only 102, so you're beating me by 15 points.
I like that. Now, rain has been playing a big part in these games lately. In the Alabama game, it rained a lot before the game, and then was it raining during the game? The Auburn game, it rained. You and I actually went down there.
We went down to the Auburn game.
And it rained the first half, whole first half.
Now,
and people that watched
it wasn't a heavy rain. It was
a
light rain.
It was a consistent rain.
Well, apparently that's 2 weeks in a row that Alabama has dodged the rain, had rain before the game, but then not so much during the game. And Auburn, of course, has had the rain both 2 weeks in a row.
I'm not sure the rain could stop Alabama at this point. I mean, they are looking strong and solid, and they're clicking on all
Hightower,
cylinders.
Apparently, the word I hear right now is maybe out with an ACL.
Looks like, this could be a season-ending injury, which nobody likes to see. It doesn't matter who you root for.
Yeah,
and you don't want to see a player go down.
No, you certainly don't. Auburn had a couple injuries as well, but right now the early word is that maybe they're not going to be as serious as we have. For Cody Burns and Ontario McCaleb, a couple of injuries, but looks like maybe not going to be anything that's going to hold them out.
They should be playing today against Tennessee, which is a big game, Reed.
Let's talk about that. Yeah, let's talk about that. Auburn's got Tennessee. This is definitely a big game for both of these teams. Both teams really needing to kind of prove themselves. Auburn's off to a 4-0 start, but this is really getting into the meat of their SEC schedule, and they've struggled a little bit.
They definitely have room for improvement. Special teams, I mean, you've seen
the not-so-special teams.
Right, they're dropping the ball left and right on the punt returns, especially. And defense, not making tackles like they should.
Yeah.
Now, Tennessee, on the other hand, has a lot of talent and just hadn't really shown it yet. Crompton, their quarterback, throwing a lot of picks.
Crompton does not have a lot of talent.
Yeah, so you could have some, misleading records there. 2-2 with Tennessee and 4-0 with Auburn.
It's going to be very interesting. That game comes on tonight, and it's being played in Tennessee. And
Alabama is going to Kentucky today. and I'm not sure they're going to have this. This may not be a tough game for Alabama.
The only thing Kentucky has done all year long is injured Tim Tebow, which most people wouldn't think you'd be able to do. And actually, it was the knee of a Florida player, so it wasn't even really Kentucky.
And Florida's
that did
got the day off today, so give him a little extra time to
good for them.
recoup. Now, Jake Minton, who was our guest on Thursday, from Arkansas, born and raised
in Little Rock.
Yeah, and still lives in Arkansas. Came down for the Arkansas-Alabama game.
Went to the game. Is that right,
last week?
Jake?
Right. Yeah.
And got rained on before the game.
Yeah. It rained hard before the game. Just about 15 or 20 minutes before kickoff, it lightened up, and then it quit before the actual kickoff. So
now, Jake, you were at the Alabama game. This was in Tuscaloosa, but
right.
You were not an Alabama fan. Give us your impressions as someone who comes in to that stadium, not as an Alabama fan. What were your impressions of the game in general?
Well, I've been to the game at Tuscaloosa a few times before, and you always get an interesting crowd of people there. You do a lot of people watching in Tuscaloosa.
How would you describe the people there?
Well, I don't know, maybe a little red at times.
Really? Because
because
the colors are crimson,
so they're wearing red.
Right. But I don't mean that.
You didn't mean crimson.
No,
you meant
no. You know, some people are maybe a little
angry red,
no.
red with anger.
Now, did you see the Ricky's rant video?
No, I didn't. I saw that y'all had talked about that, but I didn't see that.
It's a big YouTube sensation.
Okay.
We actually had him on the show.
But I mean, there's that. Because my wife's giving me dirty looks.
Well, she's an Alabama
right,
fan.
and she's in the room here, so I can't speak maybe as freely. But there's like that in most SEC schools.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, that's not
except
just
for
Alabama.
Vanderbilt. Not so much with Vanderbilt.
Yeah, and not Auburn, because they think that they're better than most other people. I think.
Right,
Am I right?
right.
Y'all are
Is
Auburn
that
fans?
true?
Is that not true?
Well, I would
know.
say that Auburn is better than Ball State and Mississippi. I'm trying to think of who we've beaten so far.
No, but you think
West
that your
Virginia,
individual
perhaps.
fans are better quality people. Is
Well,
what
it's
I
not
mean,
so much we
athletics.
think that. I think that's just sort of the case.
It's the case? Okay.
Yeah, well, no.
For the record, by the way, I'd like to say I'm not an Auburn fan. I am a Florida fan this year.
Are you?
Yeah, and I was last year too. 2 years ago, I was an LSU fan, USC fan before that.
Yep.
Yeah.
An LSU fan, how would you like to listen to a call-in show in Starkville?
Wow. What a
after
game.
last week.
Yeah,
It's
they
another game,
had
yeah.
first and goal and couldn't get it in. Apparently, I didn't get to see it, Reed, because we were out of town.
Some
and
questionable.
maybe
they
they got in on the second down, and then, I mean, if
But
you can't get in.
the play calling, why do you do that? I mean,
Yeah.
I
And
guess the
Dan
mentality is they'll never see it coming.
And Dan Mullen is supposed to be known, this genius offensive mind, that was the power behind the Tim Tebow offense.
Yeah, apparently they tried. I didn't see this because, once again, you and I were in Auburn. We didn't get to see the game. But I heard that they tried that little Tebow jump pass thing, which is the Mullen sort of move, I
right.
guess. And there was an LSU
down.
guy that just barely deflected it.
Yeah,
Apparently.
that could have been their marquee win. I mean,
Yeah,
they
would
so
have been,
desperately need one that they can turn the corner, because that's sometimes all it takes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and I'm just not sure that LSU is the team that everyone says they are. Don't get me wrong, the talent's there. There is no doubt, right?
You don't get
But
to see
Les
it that
Miles,
much.
I just don't think he's this amazing coach that everybody said.
Yeah.
I think the first couple of years there, remember, I mean, he was the riverboat gambler. They always called Tommy Tuberville.
Well-
but Les Miles he was going for all these trick plays, and every one of them worked.
Yeah,
he did not
luckily
fail
for him.
And then last year, what was 7-5?
Yeah.
I think
Rough
he's
year.
starting
I'd
to be.
rather be lucky than good.
Yeah,
coach.
I think he's starting to be exposed a little bit.
Yeah.
And they're number 4 in the nation going into today. We'll see how long that
That's
lasts.
hard to
I
believe.
just don't know.
Well, let's talk real quickly just about today's games. I picked Auburn to beat Tennessee by 3, and I picked Alabama to beat Kentucky by only 14. I should have upped that number. Alabama's going to blow Kentucky out of the water. Auburn, Tennessee, and who knows what's going to happen.
What were
in
my
that game.
picks on those games?
You had Auburn winning by 7, and you had Alabama beating Kentucky only by 14, same as me. So I think we're both rather going to pick up some points this week, I think, in our competition there.
Yeah, like I said, Auburn's got a pretty big challenge.